What's up, guys? Zaid here with my boy James. What you do today?
Top 8 at the Tables and Towers case tournament. Shout out Tables and Towers, pretty fun tournament and really huge venue. You have to check it out if you're in the MBVA area.
You have any other shout outs?
Not currently.
Yourself?
Myself. I'm
and then,
sick.
Before we get into it, too, I got to shout out my sponsor, Tsunami Mats. Promo code ZaidSlater5 for 5% off, too. All right, I'm ready now if you are.
So, my Despia deck, I got top 8 with. I guess we'll just go into it. 3 Aliber. Don't need to explain this. It's pretty straightforward. Obviously, search Brandon Fusion, but I run the toolbox of like Brandon and Lost, the Despia feeder. So if you already have the Brandon Fusion, you can search Brandon Red or the Brandon and Lost and stuff like that. So very, very well-rounded card. Obviously, Reborn's also making it really hard for them to kill you in battle, and you then get follow-up turns. Next, we have Tragedy. I run 3 because I run the Edge Chain engine as well. Some people run 2, but I like 3 a lot because I feel like it's extremely hard to brick in this deck because you have like the Edge Chains can just fuse with this, with the polymerization. I run Allure. It's like an Allure, draw 2, banish Tragedy, gets effect.
Yeah.
I run Gold Sark. I want to make sure there's no way I just like cannot do anything. It's like at least I can always search Aliber, and if you already have Aliber, you can just search Leviathan or whatever. Also really good because its graveyard effect lets you like that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these cards just like do so much on multiple turns. Like on your turn, you search, and on their turn, okay, like this Reborn itself to be a blocker. And then this also gives you the Brandon Fusion next turn. So it's super hard to run out of steam if you even resolve like 1 Brandon Fusion.
I like the 3 of this if you're playing Allure, because I think the pack list was playing 3 Mercurier, but this card, when you draw, it's like actually a combo piece, like you said with Poly, but Mercurier is not really.
So I didn't like the pack list that had like, or I mean it's fine, but like that had like the 3 Mercurier, because Mercurier is one of the biggest bricks in the whole deck. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you draw Mercurier without Allure, it's really bad compared to just drawing like any other card in the deck for the most part, like any engine card. Same with drawing triple Allure, it can give you possible hands, not likely, of double drawing Allure, because sometimes you don't want to banish really anything with Allure.
Yeah.
And then sometimes just double drawing Allure is really bad because you only want to like realistically use 1, or just like you're gonna like get rid of cards you're actually like Aliber. So I just wanted to avoid those bricks with the triple Allure version. Allure is good; it's a solid 2 of because it's like you want to draw 1 of them but not multiple, and also it's bricky if you have the triple Mercuriers. It's a loose con. Like it's very hard to brick. So there's no reason to just give yourself dead hands with triple Mercurier, triple Prism.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I agree.
Moving on. 1 Dramaturge. This card's amazing. I can never see myself playing without it. I know it's like not really like debate at this point in the pure version, but yeah, like this, you can Leviathan gets it back in a lot of scenarios, but they like stop Brandon Fusion, and obviously it just recurs to one of its searchable recurs a lot. Leviathan, part of the main combo, gets back Mirror Jade with the Guardian Chimera Mirror Jade combo. And then also just generically good, can get back like Dramaturge and stuff like later. That you wouldn't think that happens a lot, but I had it happen a lot today where like I didn't actually have anything that was a fusion. And then 1 Mercurier, you get off Brandon and Lost, just as like a effect negation. And you can banish with Fairy Tale Snow to search, you can banish with Allure to search, so that's pretty good. 2 I'll be on the Shrouded. I mean, it's just a draw 1, but you put opening in the graveyard, which is really important, especially in the mirror match. And against Eldritch. Against Eldritch, sometimes they will have like the Conquistador and like the Dogmatic of Punishment, banish the opening. And then it's really important in the mirror match because mirror matches are very grindy. So there's many scenarios where like you guys are killing each other's mirror jades or like they have Guardian Chimeras, and you just banish opening. So it's really relevant to have that kind of effect. And it's nice to have 2 more darks for Allure. Because you don't really care about banishing this.
Yeah, it's not killing your engine if you do that.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, I have Allure, and I have just only Allure and the Jester. I'm like, man, I don't want to have the Stead card in my hand. I guess I'll have to discard for Lebellion. But like,
I also never realized this could send a Fallen of Albaz, so it makes Brandon in red live too. Which is really
exactly.
Cool.
I have people do that too recently. I haven't done that much myself. I usually go for opening, but if your hands, certain hands can do that.
Yeah, if it's awkward, you can do it.
So 3 Fallen of Albaz, pretty straightforward. So you run 3, because if they like Ash Blossom your Brandon Fusion, then if you have the Edgem Chain, or you can like, or whatever, not Edgem Chain, but like Polymerization, Paper Patchwork, whatever, a way to Despia your Brandon Feeder, a way to fuse. You can just fuse with it from your hand. It's a weaker version, obviously, the Ash, the Brandon Fusion. You still get to make Mirror Jade and like do your stuff and to get your engine going. So.
And it's good in the mirror. It's good going second.
Yeah, and with Brandon Lost, it's pretty good because I can't stop the fusion. I run 3 Edgem Chain, between 2 and 3, but I end up doing, I actually really like 3 now. It's just, again, with Allure, you have more things to banish. The discard's just so convenient. And there's just so much you can do before you even get to the Brandon Fusion. You can like bait things out and do all kinds of stuff, like someone masquerading first. It's just, like sometimes I'll be playing mirror matches and I'm like, wow, they haven't even used Brandon Fusion this turn. Or like my opponent will be like, wait, you haven't used Brandon Fusion? You haven't done that yet? I'm like, it's like, you can do a lot before you even get there or after. So it gives you a lot of follow-up. It just, a way to not run out of steam. So, and then last monster is Fairy Tale Snow. Obviously, you send it for the light for Albion. Really good in grind games. You can banish the Mercurier to search. It makes it one more thing to deal with, but it's really good in grind games. Because a lot of times what happens is like, you'll do all your main combo with Guardian, Chimera, Mirror Jade, and then later in the game you're like, okay, I have like a million cards of Grave, I'll just send Snow, and then they can't.
And then it's 2 or 3 interruptions.
Yeah. So I have Ecclesia, the Virtuous. I haven't tried it yet. I tried a lot of. I know this is like real testing, but I fishbowl a lot for like a few hours, and like most of my brick hands included the Virtuous, the Incredible Virtuous.
Yeah, going first, the card's not crazy. Like in a mirror, you can normal summon it and pass, and on their turn, it could tag out for Fallen, but that's not great.
It's awkward, and you'd think sometimes it'd be awkward to like not have 2 lights, so you only like 1 raw Albion, but you usually only do 1 Albion. You only actually summon the 1. That's true for Mirror Jade, so it's like just. I'll try Incredible Virtuous, Ecclesia, whatever, but she seems good. So like it's a spells, 2 Allure. So again, I don't run 3 because it can give you brick hands of multiple Allures. Especially like, I feel like there's, okay, one main reason I even run Allure, I'm not like, oh, I want to be greedy and like banish Tragedy and search, because you can get Tragedy in so many different ways in this deck, like fusing with Polymerization, or it's more so the only brick hands I was really having were hands of like Tragedy, Fallen of Albaz, like Edgem Chain without like any way to fuse or anything, right? And I'm like, wow, the only way I brick is with these specific hands. So I added Allure to help mitigate that. It's also really good, again, not running 3, because if you run 3, you can roll multiples and you don't want to bash anything, but it's like you want to draw 1. Like ideally, you just want to see 1, mold your hand, and then you're good to go.
Is your list 40, by the way?
No, it's like 43 or
43.
Yeah, it's 44 with the Incredible Ecclesia. It might be 44. But either way, yeah, it's one of the ways to solve the brick hands. So I really liked it. And yeah, I don't want to 3 McCourier because that's like a lose con. Even drawing 1 is already hurting you a lot. So drawing 2 is just like super not worth it to me. It's a lot more just to run 2. Because again, rule of thumb, draw 1, not multiples. It's not always going to happen. That's why you run 2, ideally. 2 or 3 Mana Fusion. I don't think I need to expand this card. So. Obviously, like the main
one of the best cards in the game right now.
One of the main cards you search. 3 Banded Opening, very strong. Obviously, I love it with Albion to send the graveyards to free protection. It's really relevant in the mirror match because, yeah, like Mirror Jades will pop, Guardian Chimeras, versus Eldritch, stuff I talked about. But yeah, it's good with Edgem Chain. Raises consistency. Overall, really good. And you can also you can discard it with Rebellion. Like, say you have it, you already have Aliber. Oh, and one thing, this isn't really a complicated play, but I might as well explain it because I feel like some Despia people that are new to Despia just don't do this for some reason. So mostly you're only normal summoning Aliber, right? Or at least unless you have no other normal summons, you know your only normal summons Aliber. You activate this, discard a card, and then instead of special summoning the Albion the Aliber in defense, you can add it to your hand, or you can add it to your hand and you normal summon it. This is relevant because it's harder to kill 1800 than 0.
Yeah,
right?
And going like second, it could help you push through a board or something.
So like, you can do this to play on Valor, but like they can just Valor Rebellion, which is like not that bad because you get Tragedy, but I don't know. I think that's worth to just go Jester in attack position. So keep that in mind if you need to beat something over. I think people will just default to always playing defense, and I'm like, okay, I'll put an attack, and then in the mirror I get like a free swing because there's so many cards that are hard to kill people in the mirror because you have so much Masquerade Reborns, Aliber Reborns, everything Reborns. So I guess it's just a small little thing. 3 branded red. All right. So between 2 or 3, the reason I went with 3. So this is like a big deal. I know it might seem like simple. It's just 2 or 3. There's actually a lot of thought process behind it. So if you run 3, or if you run 2, then that's fine. Or how do I word it? Then the best possible hand includes having a branded opening so you don't have to search it. Because that way you get an extra Mirror Jade. So if you have like the whole combo, what you have to do to search branded red is you Mirror Jade, banish your own Jester, and then you set it, and then you lose that the first Mirror Jade. But if you have 3 and you draw it raw, then you're able to just set it and have you have on top of the banish from the Mirror Jade and the Chimera, you have another Mirror Jade. So I was looking at my deck, and also this is when I was like thinking about Ecclesia, Incredible Ecclesia, and I was like, man, what would I want this card to be? And a lot of times it's like, yeah, it can brick branded red, but the other cards can brick too. And this just makes your power so much better. And it's also really, really fucking strong going second. Like, going second's amazing. You can just play through so much. Like, you just Polymerization, dump Tragedy, dump whatever, and then, like, when they try and, like, negate an effect or something, you can just, like, okay, Brandon Red, resolve from the banish zone.
Yeah, it gets to dodge your stuff.
Yeah.
Helps play through skill drain and stuff in those type of matchups.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's really nice to dodge the skill drains, especially when you, like, blow them up with Chimera and stuff. So, yeah, this card is just... It can, I guess, brick technically if you have like it going first, but it's so hard to brick in this version of the deck. It's like almost impossible. Like you just like can't. Like I'm not playing 3 McCourier, so I can't draw those. I'm not running 3 Allures, so I can't draw those. Like I'm not running Ecclesia. Like it's very hard to brick. So yeah, you draw the Brandon Red, and your deck's just like twice as strong if you open it because you don't have to search it. Then you can search Brandon Lost or something, or obviously Fusion. So yeah, I run 3 because it's the strongest possible board going first, and it helps going second. So it made sense to be the last. Brandon Lost. Obviously really good. Searches either Albion or the Mercurier. If you're going first, you can search Mercurier for negate. If you want to dig, you can search the Albion. The reason, or you swap Albouts too. The reason this card's so particularly good is you just get it both players' turns. It's like my turn, okay, I'll get Mercurier. Your turn, Brandon Red, okay, I'll get like Albion for next turn.
Yeah,
get
like, the follow up.
Yeah, you just get so much, and they can't negate things, and it makes them lose all of their effects. So this card is absolutely amazing. Theater. One Theater is really good. It's a searchable polymerization, but it makes the grind so hard to kill. It's so hard to kill you if you have a Masquerade, an Aliber in this. They have to they attack Masquerade, or they attack Aliber, you reborn Masquerade. They kill Masquerade, you reborn Aliber. Like they attack Aliber, okay, I'll use Masquerade to reborn. It's like 5 attacks. And it's a polymerization every turn, so it's like really, really, really good as an option. So I like it. Yeah. 3 Super Poly.
This card's crazy.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. The mirror is actually so intricate and actually very skillful, I think. In terms of you grind, there's a lot of decision making. Like Super Poly is not like, oh, you don't win the game. Like obviously you play and it's like, okay, that's fine, you still keep playing. But it's more like a well-timed Super Poly. You don't need to like mash it. It's like, it makes everything easier. That's how I put it. It makes everything easier in the mirror. It doesn't win the game on the spot. You still have the other stuff, you still have to play through a lot of shit. But it makes everything so much easier. It's like, oh wow, I had to play through like Mirror Jade and potential this and that. And it's like, okay, Super Poly. Now I get like my unit and you have less to work with, and it just puts you to where like you're kind of calling the shots compared to them. So it'll put you ahead. I don't need to explain why it's good, but I just want to explain that like it makes everything easier. It's not like an auto win, but 2 Droplet. I don't know if I even want this. The reason I even have this is it's mostly for foreignies. I was like, man, I want to main deck out to the barrier statues amongst other things. So the reason this deck's 44 cards, and I run a Lord of Darkness, right? So like having the hand traps is a bit of a depreciated value, like Ash and Bell in the main deck and stuff, because I run 44, right? So I don't always have a chance to draw those. Like, compared to like a 40 card deck that runs like 8 or 9, 12 hand traps. I'm running a 44 card deck. So already less likely to draw my hand traps turn 1, and they're not going to. But Bell, you can draw just your 6 card, but Ash not really as much. But Droplet, I can like dig for it. Like I can Albion. If I draw, that's nice. I can Allure, try and like I usually start my hand with like 6 cards, and then I get to draw like a few.
Yeah,
so
you get to like try to dig to it.
Hopefully hit that Droplet. Unfortunately, like the one time I did play versus like things I needed to drop before, I didn't draw in those situations. But I didn't want to be like, oh, you're playing 4, usually Barrier Statue, I just lose. Like
Yeah. Is there a world where you could play like Imperm or something? Because like the Flu matchup in particular, if they shifter you and have Statue, you can't use this card.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, so Imperm's probably fine too. But I just want to Droplet. I don't know. This is like...
It's more versatile.
This is debatable. Like, I don't know if I actually really need... I want something. I just don't know if this is the exact card. 3 Patchwork, obviously. Amazing. Gives you card advantage, searches the card.
Yeah, +1 that's like a +1 later too.
Yeah, +1 later. And it just gets your engine enabled. It's just like, it lets you shoot your tragedy and engine chain. 2 Poly. This is probably one of the biggest bricks in the deck. It's funny because it's not even a true brick. Like, you can still use it. But I feel like the hands I have that are awkward usually involve polymerization. Like, if you have like polymerization, like Edgem Chain, Tragedy, like that's fine. But like, there's just certain hands where they're already awkward, like they ash something, and you're like, oh, this polymerization. Like, I wish this was like a stronger card.
I wish this was anything else.
Yeah,
but you need to have at least
need
2.
Yeah. And then Gold Sark Foolish, you just Foolish Tragedy, or Gold Sark Tragedy gets effect. I want to make sure I didn't brick. Foolish Auction, you just Foolish Snow, like Wailing Magas. You can Foolish like other cards like Libitum and like...
This is just technically the better of the 2, right? Like this can banish Mercurier for effect as well as Tragedy, but this, if you send Tragedy, you have Tragedy for follow-up and can hit Snow.
Yeah, and you can also set up your grave, which is like nice. But yeah, these are mostly, like 9 times out of 10, it's literally just, I want to get...
Tragedy into a Luber.
Yeah. Then Call By. Mesox production really stops hand traps, but also good going second in the mirror because if they try Brandon Red, you can negate it by.
Yeah, this card's been crazy. It's like a 6th draw for me in every deck I've played.
Yeah, it's just it hits so much. It hits so much. So yeah, no hand traps and no traps. Will I run the new Dragon Fusion? Maybe. I think I'm going to. It's just tough because I have a tight action deck right now, and the new trap, like maybe I'll decide what going first. Maybe
the trap is the one that's like a super poly, right?
But it's like also a brick, and like I don't know if you need it going first, and it's also better in certain matchups than others. So maybe I'll decide going first, but
that's fair. There's also a world where red is just better most of the time. Like it's probably specifically better in the mirror, and that's it.
Like I'm obviously gonna try both those cards out, and then we'll see if they make the cut. 3 Albion. So I'll give her 1 too. I actually like just, I don't know, the matches get really grindy, and I really like having 3.
3 seems right in the mirror match. When I was testing this deck, that's when I felt like it came up the most.
Yeah, because like you run Mirror Jade, 1 set off Mirror Jade, 1 you summon yourself, and then if you grind hard enough, you'll likely have a second Mirror Jade later. So it's just like really strong. And I don't know. I feel comfy with 3, and I'm not running Proskinian. I want to fit Proskinian. So this last Albion can be Proskinian or this. Today I just went with this. I haven't had it come up yet, and I played a ton of mirrors running Proskinian. You think it would. I've had people summon against me, and I'm like, that's really good. But like, I don't know. I don't know what comes up more, the third Albion or Proskinian. Proskinian's really good though, so if you want to cut this Proskinian, I might actually do that myself. 2 Mirror Jade, obviously, like, I don't really want to explain this card, but like, vanishes, part of your main combo.
It's crazy that card's a combo piece. See, like that card's a combo piece. It's follow up. It's also an insane interruption.
It has the end phase effect, which is really annoying for certain decks. 2 Lebellion. Just run 2 because if they stop the first one, you have a second one for later. Shuffle them back. The main one you summon to summon the Mirror Jade. 2 Guardian Chimera. Very good with the Edge package, and of course the Brandon and Red, stuff like that. Masquerade is MVP. So after playing like a million mirrors, I realized, okay, so you would think in common Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays, cards that just like Reborn in defense is like not that good because you need like negates and everything so crazy. But this deck isn't just one like Masquerade. You have a monster that like Reborn defense. It's like an accumulation of them. It's like you have this plus Caliber, but you can also have Theater. So many games like you'll play this, like Polymerization, you'll summon this. Let's say the Ash Brandon Fusion, and then like they kill it, and you're like, okay, Aliber. Or let's say okay, Aliber, and then like they kill that, and you're like, okay, I'll get this, and it just like keeps going. If you have like Brandon Red, you can be like, okay, well then also like Brandon Red, and you just keep doing all kinds of shit like Libetson or more than this. So it's like you regularly make it very hard to get killed, and the reason that's so broken in this deck is because you have Tragedy and Grave, so you always have follow next turn. Like you just like, okay, banish Tragedy next turn, Brandon Fusion. So if they don't kill you, you can just kill them. So this card's very good at stalling. I mean, the burn's also really good at it's generically can like because some brick hands if they like ash you. You can make like double Masquerade, and decks can't beat that.
And in that same scenario where you're saying how these give you like a lot of longevity, and also from when they were summoned to when your opponent starts breaking the board, like they're taking a bunch of damage. So then on the crackback, you only have to do like 3,000.
Yeah, it's also insane because like if you get the double opening or the 2 of them, they kill both. Like on one turn you roll one for defense, like it gets banished. The next turn Reborn this one. It's just like never stops. And you have Theater, then they also just like, use Reborn. Like it's so hard to die. If you know what you're doing. In most matchups, I feel like it's very, very, very hard to die.
And then you accrue advantage every turn, so it's like insane.
So 1 Cordis, I haven't been summoning so much lately, but it's really good to go for a game. Like you can like fuse for it with like Dramaturge, chain a Dramaturge effect in the grave to like make everything 0, Reborn Dramaturge, attack with both for 5,500 into like their units. Yeah.
I remember when I was watching Pack's profile, they said this card's crazy against Sword Soul. Because you'd like summon a Oliver and activate effect, then they cheese out it. You chain Super Poly, make their Baron, or not their Baron, their cheese out and your guy into this. So now you dodge and your Aluber resolves, and then you can use his effect and they have to Baron negate it, or you just attack the Baron. But if they negate it, Fallen comes out and you take their guy.
Yeah. So this card's like really good in a lot of matchups. It's good at going for game. It's like the perfect one of like, it comes up like, yeah, it's like you only need 1. You'd never like really summon 2. But it's so relevant for whether it's going for game, for defense, stuff like that. It's really good. So Starving Venom, I play this like every time, like every game. Whenever I draw Super Poly, I feel like most of the time it's Starving Venom. He's just like so easy to summon. He gets insane attack points off his boost, so like he threatens lethal. And then if they kill him, he like blows up their board. And a lot of decks just like can't get around you killing them, or they can't get around him dying and blowing up their board. But they have to like Brandon opening or something. And if they don't, it's so good. So yeah, obviously pretty straightforward, but yeah. Spelia, another card you can get off Super Poly, or you can just summon it manually.
Do you ever summon this one manually, actually? Does that come up at all?
I did that today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like the dude had I think he had a Rivalry, but it was like a grind game, and I like set 2 monsters and then like fused for it. It was really weird. I know I summoned it manually twice. Summoned this one manually once. I run one Titaniclad. This could be Sprint, honestly. Maybe I should be this maybe should be Sprint. The reason I play this card is if they have Titaniclad, or sorry, if they have M-Pen, you can summon Fallen of Abaz and make this, but a lot of times they have the Barrier Statue with it anyway, so like, I don't know how, that hasn't even happened yet. So,
there's a line where this outs Dragoon too, if that ever comes up for you.
Yeah.
You like make Lubellion sending Fallen and I think Shrouded, and then you shuffle back Lubellion and Shrouded to make this, and it's 4,100.
Well, I actually did summon it today, which is kind of funny. So like I summoned Albion, and then my Grave was able to make this, and then it counts a fusion summon if you do this. It says fusion summon. So you get the effect to boost attack, and he boosted like over 4,000 attack. And just like push for game. So this could be Sprint or Proskinian. Like these 2 are the flex spots, but yeah. Well, that's the deck. If you guys like.
Wait, deck. Side deck.
Oh, there's side deck. You're right. So my side deck's a work in progress, but I liked it. Like, I don't know, I keep changing it. So I also went undefeated at locals yesterday, and I don't want to be results based, but like I did learn something about my side deck that I had a theory and it worked out great, but I need more testing, so you don't be results based or anything. But obviously, free token collector. This card is, you can't not run 3. Sword Soul's my meta deck. This is the best card against them. It's good versus a lot of shit. There's no reason to just like grief your Sword Soul matchup.
Yeah, Brave Red Rose too.
Yeah, it's so good. Brave Red Rose can play us sometimes, but like other matchups are good. All right, so I actually saw a lot of hand traps. Now, so what I was thinking about in the mirror, everyone cites Ghost Spell for the mirror, and I was like, man, is it not just broken to use this on their Brand Infusion? Because I feel like whatever you can still do other shit when that happens, but it's so average, it's so weak, right? Like you're playing a very fair deck once that happens. So I just felt like in the mirrors is good. Again, it's not as good because I run 44 cards, so you have a lower chance of drawing it, but it's still going second's really good. It's also good generically versus like Florentines. I mean, literally every deck. Like
you said, the mirror's kind of a grind too. So like if you don't open it or you draw it as your 6th or something, it's not that bad because there's going to be another turn that happens.
I was playing at locals and we were undefeated yesterday, and it was like first place gets a mat, whatever. And then he activated Brand Infusion and activated Ash. He's like, wow, that's so cringe. You're playing hand traps in this deck because everyone's off the hand traps. And then he didn't Ash me because no one's signing Ash but me in the mirror match, or I guess other people maybe are. And then I was like, wow, this is so free. Like if you negate Brand Infusion, you stop their tragedy. They still get tragedy later from fusing, but it's again so weak. You just you get so little out of it. So I Ashed him, and then he didn't Ash me because he didn't play it, and I just destroyed him. It was so I had 8 cards to his 5. It was not even close. So I feel like this card's good in almost every matchup, and it's particularly good in the mirror. And you can just Ash diff people in the mirror. They don't get Brand Infusion, you do, you win. So really good. I still said 2 Bell. This is for the mirror. It's nice because again I have a lot of draw on the deck, so you don't have to Ash you have to draw the first turn because it hits Brand Infusion, but you can allure and draw into this, and then Brand Red you do this. So you can draw into
it. Has a lot of overlap too. These are even good against the back row decks, like Eldritch. It stops the elixirs.
It's better than some other dead cards.
Stuff like the Tri Brigade, a variant of this deck. It plays Revolt. You stop Revolt. There's just a lot of random stuff that you can bell.
So I run 3 draw and Lockbird. The reason I run these, well, it's good versus a lot of stuff. I like it a lot versus, obviously Thorndees is the main thing it's for. But you can use it versus the 60 card base piles, and even prank it. It's still really good because if they enchant Best Enchantress, you can just do this. They don't get Adventure. They don't get a lot of their searches. They draw a lot of cards too. Yeah, they don't get the Prank draw at the end turn. So it's I played at the YCS. I played Invoke before this deck came out, and I got top 32. I break game 3 in the bubble. Or sorry, I didn't get top 32. I was on the bubble for top 32. So I was on the bubble, but the reason I haven't made it that far was because I main draw Lockbird, because I realized by playing so much that this card is just insane versus all the base piles. It makes them neg 2 or 3. It doesn't stop them entirely, but they neg 2 or 3. But to be fair, nothing really stops them going second entirely, right?
Yeah, you need 2 or 3 hand traps if you want to end the whole turn.
Exactly. Even if you have Nibiru, you need Nibiru plus Baylor for the Griffin. So it's this was the only card where it was wow, this is just a blowout for so much. It's good versus Foreign-Ds versus the base decks. They end up with half as good of a board, and then you can just kill them, because Despia's really good at playing through boards, right? So if they have half as strong of a field, you just kill them. So yeah, this is for Florentines and the 6 card piles. This is for going first Florentines. You Brand Infusion, send this, banish, you get a zombie world. Other guys aren't wing beasts anymore, they don't get any of their effects, or pretty much all their effects, so yeah, very strong. And the last 2 cards were Heartbeats and Red Reboot. These are actually supposed to be Twin Twisters, because you can chain them to Anti-Spell Fragrance, but I don't own Twin Twisters, I need to go get those.
Imagine not having twins.
I know, they're $1, right? But yeah, Twin Twisters is better because Anti-Spell's very important.
Did you really change Red Reboot out for a twin, though? Because this also stops...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of the card right here. So what I'm thinking is either I cut maybe something else to have 2 or 3 Twin Twisters, but I want Twin Twister in here.
Yeah, I love that card.
Because it outs their back rows plus Anti-Spell. And the Heavenly Prison, once they flip their skill drain face up, it's no longer protected, so then you just kill it.
Yeah, it's still able to hit that. And you could do it at fast effect. You don't have to wait for the chain to resolve and then activate this.
Yeah, so it also can load your grave and stuff. Activate End of Chain, which we shouldn't really need a problem with that, but yeah. So that's the deck. I went undefeated at locals yesterday, won a mat, top 8 K tournament today. Still learning. The mirror's really involved and really grindy, and I think really skillful. So every time I play the mirror, I learn so much. And I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm very confident in it. I didn't lose any mirrors today or yesterday. I won all of them. But I don't know. I'm just happy with this deck because I feel like it's very easy to beat someone in the mirror if they know more about the deck.
Yeah.
There's so many little things. It's so grindy.
Like Necroz almost, like that
yeah, it's not
format.
like you play your 2-3 turns and you get out of jail free. Like, okay, I win. It's like, no, like, we're going to keep going until, like, if you mess up, like, it will affect you the rest of the match. So, like, and if, like, you make a smart play, it will get you ahead. So so it's really easy to just, like, nickel and dime away, like, small advantages, and then just, like, they can't outplay you, and you just beat them. So, yeah.
Any final words or anything?
All the changes, like Twin Twisters, Ecclesia, we tried, the extra could be different. Just want to learn and get better at the deck. It's very strong. I guess my only thing I really like to think about is, like, I am afraid of Barrier Statue, like a YCS, because, like, I only have droplets, and if you don't draw it, like, I don't know. It's also awkward because if they shifter you, like, I got shiftered when the guy had Barrier Statue, and I had to, like, end up getting rid of the Barrier Statue. I think I discarded for cost droplet. I discarded for cost for something, because I was like, wow, I just can't even use this. Like,
Yeah, it's just dead.
It's just dead now. Like, it's fucked. So, yeah. I needed to discard something, so I keep the rest of my gas in my hand to get rid of that card. But yeah, that's all. Side deck might change. Extra might change, but
All right, sweet. Thank you for the profile.
no problem.